What's happening, YouTube? This is a prediction preview video for tomorrow's upcoming WBO Super Featherweight Championship fight between the champion Jamel Herring and the challenger Carl Frampton, going down at the Caesars Palace from Dubai in the UAE. Now, this is a even matchup on paper. You have Jamel Herring, the champion, 35 years old, 22 victories, 10 of them coming via knockout with 2 defeats. And you have the challenger Carl Frampton at 28 victories with 16 wins coming via knockout and 2 defeats as well. And he is 34 years old. And the only big difference is the height and reach on paper, as Jamel Herring stands in at 5 foot 10 inches tall, while Carl Frampton stands in at 5 feet 5 inches tall. Now that's a 5 inch height difference. Now, also I believe the reach advantage should be in the favor of the champion Jamel Herring, with him being significantly taller than Carl Frampton. Now let's get into the insight of both fighters. Jamel Herring is on a 6 fight win streak. Um, he hasn't lost a fight since he got with Bomac in his new camp. After his 2 defeats that he suffered, first against Shafikov, which was via stoppage. It wasn't like he was knocked out or he quit or he got floored or nothing like that. His corner at the time threw in that towel, which forced the referee to stop the fight. Now, did I agree with the stoppage? Not really, but it is what it is. He was taking some significant blows. And after avenging his first L, he took another L by tasting defeat against Ladarius Miller via decision. Now, ever since that defeat against Miller, he's been on a uppity slope, as he became the WBO Super Featherweight Champion by defeating Ito, and he's just been making improvements ever since, man. His defense is getting better. His movements are slicker. His counter punching is getting better. He could box and he can fight, and he's getting better and better, man. And I've been impressed by his ability to fight off the back foot. He's very good at catching his opponents coming in and checking them with that left hook while his opponents are rushing in. But his last two performances were disappointing, with all due respect. And his fight with Lamont Roach, which was 2 fights ago, his last fight against Jonathan Oquendo, it was a disappointing result. He was clearly the winner in that fight, but that fight ended in a lackluster fashion as he won via disqualification because Oquendo intentionally headbutted Jamel Miller. Then, and let me get back to his fight with Lamont Roach. I had that fight 6-6, a draw. Lamont Roach, he just wasn't taking enough risk. He wasn't willing to engage and step on the pedal fully against Jamel Herring. And I believe if he would have put enough pressure on Jamel Herring, he was able to hurt Jamel Herring and give him the noodle legs when he landed a clean punch. And I don't know what it was, just Roach seemed a little hesitant. Now, if the referee would have counted the knockdown for Jamel Herring, which it should have, but it didn't for whatever reason, um, I would have had it 114, 113, but technically it ain't count. That's why, like I said, I had a 6-6, a draw. I don't know what the judges were seeing. It was a unanimous decision victory for Jamel Herring. Um, yeah, it was 6-6. No knockdowns. Therefore, it's a draw in my book. But it is what it is, though. His last 2 performances heading into this fight was not the best. Now, Carl Frampton, his last 2 fights, impressive. He's been making some good adjustments. He's been going to the body a lot more lately. Um, this what I'm saying. Like I said, on paper, record wise, and everything, it's even. But only difference, like I said, and I pointed out this point earlier in the video, is the height and reach difference. That advantage goes to Jamel Herring by far. But Tyler McCreary, who Carl Frampton gave uh, his first taste in defeat, uh, McCreary is significantly taller than Carl Frampton. I believe he's like the same height as Jamel Herring. And he was able to drop McCreary twice with both of them knockdowns coming via body shots. And his last fight against Darren Trainer, what happened? He made Trainer quit by digging to the body, and and that adjustment and him going to the body a lot more. And Carl Frampton has always been a fighter that likes to pick his shots. He's got good ring generalship. He's got price punching, the right balance of precision punching and skillful fighting and aggression and pressure fighting. He's a good balance, and um, that was coming. His last two performances, where he gave McCary his first defeat and made Trainer quit, is coming off that war where he took a unanimous decision loss against Josh Warrington, which was like the top candidate for 2018's Fight of the Year. Now, as I mentioned earlier, both fighters have two defeats. Both defeats that Carl Frampton tasted were close competitive fights. Josh Warrington, his fight against Warrington, that was one of the top candidates for fights of the year that year. With that being said, that tells you that was a close competitive fight. And when he took his first defeat, that was against Leo Santa Cruz in their rematch, and both his fights with Leo Santa Cruz ended in a majority decision, which means it was a close ass competitive fight. Now Jamel Herring, on the other hand, he's been stopped in his first L, and Miller was definitely the winner in their fight as well. That being said, there's two different ways of losing. You have like a fight where you have a clear winner, and you have a fight where it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's very competitive or a close call which could have went either way. Now I'm saying with his fight with Warrington for sure was the winner, but it was a competitive fight. And Carl Frampton, not only has he had more fights and is more experienced, he's been in more big field fights and big championship fights than Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring, this is his biggest challenge in his career to this date. He hasn't fought somebody of Carl Frampton's level. Carl Frampton has fought Warrington, Nonito Donaire, and he's fought Leo Santa Cruz. These guys are all top caliber fighters when it comes to their respective divisions. Now, Carl Frampton has said, I don't know if this for motivational purposes or he's trying to tell the people how confident he is. He says if he loses to Jamel Herring tomorrow, he's going to retire. Now, I don't know what the mentality is behind that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. And with all the insights that I pointed out, I'm leaning towards Carl Frampton to win this fight via unanimous decision. Now, let me know what y'all predictions is in the comment section. Let me know y'all insights from y'all perspective. Hit the subscribe button, the share and like button, and let's see how this fight plays out tomorrow, man. Looking forward to it. It's a great fight for the sport. Yeah, peace, y'all.